My life before I got involved in anything with bridges and getting ahead, I was working full-time. I was working at a furniture store here in Findlay and making $15 an hour. I had insurance, had a 401k. I knew where our next meal was coming from. Life was what everybody said it was supposed to be, and how you enjoy life. And I had a great working car, had insurance for the car. We really didn't want for anything. The kids would probably say they had needs, but just like any kid. But life was good. Life was very good. Life began to change for me when my youngest daughter, Lauren, was born at 24 weeks and spent some time in the NICU unit. And it wasn't this immediate change for us. She came home, and that's when things started to change. A huge day came when the landlord showed up at the apartment with the eviction notice. And I had to move. I had to call my sister and say, okay, I don't know what else to do anymore. We have to leave. I don't have any money. I didn't have a job. I had a baby that was on oxygen full time. You don't have a lot of pride when you can't supply for your own children. I would have to say, when I was struggling and living day to day, that had to have been the most stressful days of my life. Being very isolated, you're lonely, you're desperate, very desperate at times. Not being able to go to bed at night and feel peace. It hurts. You give up part of yourself every single day. Every single day. I still have bumps in the road. I won't say I don't have bumps in the road. But now I know that I have peace at night when I go to sleep. We have a roof over our head, and I can pay my bills, and my kids eat. I can eat. I don't have to choose between the kids eating all the time and me not having a meal. It feels good. I'm proud of myself because I'm working, and I got that. And I'm striving to achieve more things because I want to do that. I'm proud of myself. I feel like I matter again. We had been involved with Family First Council here in town due to my youngest one being born so early. And I had a great provider at the time that would come out to check on us. And one day she said to me, you know, Carol, there's this class in Hancock County. It's called the Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By World. She said, I think you might be interested in this. And so I kind of just slowly started to think about it and thought, you know, I've got nothing else at this point except myself and my kids. And the agencies that I was going to on a regular basis, and the little teeny tiny bits of my pride that were still left. So I called Carol Taylor and ended up sitting down with her and another Getting Ahead graduate, and finally found something that clicked with me because it was something I never heard about before, about how to find the resources in your community that you're lacking. Nobody ever sat down and talked to me about, do you have friends that are positive? Do you have the ability to fill out paperwork properly and know what you're doing? Do you have a church family? Nobody ever sat down and talked to me about that. Nobody ever sat down and said, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And how do you want to change what you're doing? They hadn't done that for me. And getting ahead, that is where I was going to find the answers that I needed, personally needed. I started the Getting Ahead classes with still the same thought of, if they're gonna still teach me about budgeting, I don't know what I'm gonna get from that. But we really went into mental models of what poverty looks like, what middle class looks like, what wealth looks like. We tore apart what our community has as far as resources and what I was lacking as far as resources. We looked at our community as a whole and government. You take a look at why you are where you are, and you take responsibility for that. And that's not always easy, but it was something I needed to do. I needed to look at how I got where I got and why I was staying there, and if I wanted to continue to be there. And luckily for myself, I didn't want to. And to step out on a platform of new people, new ideas, positive experiences, and I'm here. I'm someone, and I count, I matter, and this community has a lot more for me to do. It's a great place for me to be, is here. I know it can be the scariest thing in the world to try something different, but I'd have to say that if nothing else, give yourself that opportunity. Go through that doorway. Grab a hold, because it's so nice to be able to wake up in the morning and know that I've done this. Carol Steegman has made the changes. And it'd be so wonderful for you to be able to say you've made the changes. It wasn't somebody else telling you you had to do it. You get to take that. You get to take ownership of it, and you get to put pride back in yourself, and you get to feel good and know it's yours. All yours, not somebody else. All you have to do is reach out just this one time